Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Gaming News Update here. Today, we're going to take a look at some of the highlights from all the announcements that were revealed in the State of Play last night. I watched the whole thing, and there was actually some quite cool announcements that came out of this PlayStation State of Play. So, without further ado, we're going to focus on the announcements that have took place in this review, and maybe talk a little bit more about the upcoming. Maybe we'll talk a bit more about some of the other announcements that took place over the yesterday, etc. So, first things first, in terms of one of the announcements that came out was the long-awaited rumored Astrobot game called Astrobot. Yeah, it's simply called Astrobot. It's set in a supersized space adventure, his biggest one to date. It's a brand new game. You get to explore 6 galaxies over 80 levels in the search for Astro's scattered crew, and the game will be available on the 6th of September, and you can begin pre-ordering from Friday. So yes, from Friday the 7th of June, which is next Friday, you will be able to pre-order Astrobot, ready for a release of the 6th of September this year if you want to play this new Astrobot game that's finally coming to the PlayStation 5, which is pretty cool. And yeah, I'm definitely going to be checking this game out later this year because it definitely looks like a lot of fun. And you get to get some skins of PlayStation characters like God of War, Horizon, etc. Lots of really cool outfits for Astrobot to wear. The next game, of course, was the game that actually opened the State of Play, and it's the long-awaited first-person multiplayer shooter that PlayStation were teasing last PlayStation showcase last year, which is Concord. This is a game we were waiting to hear more details about. Funny enough, we finally got a glimpse at the universe, characters, and the gameplay. It's basically a 5v5 character-driven first-person multiplayer shooter, and they plan to have a beta in July. And they're planning, and their global launch has been announced for PS5 and PC. So it's going to be released on both platforms on the 23rd of August, which I can't even believe how soon that is. Like, it's only as of tomorrow, it'll be 2 months away till the release of Concord, which is insane. And we're going to be getting a beta in about a month's time from tomorrow, which is insane. So, and after seeing this gameplay, yeah, I'm kind of interested in checking this multiplayer game out, this whole first person shooter title out. And also, it's kind of funny how when they were chatting to the other developers, we end up coming across a familiar face. If you're a Destiny player, you'll remember Josh Hamrick as one of the members of the Bungie team at one point during the Forsaken days. Yeah, he used to be the one who hyped up the Go Fast update and basically failed Destiny 2. Yeah, this guy was a part of that announcement, funny enough. So it's really interesting we're seeing his face again after he was a part of that Go Fast update fiasco there with Destiny 2 during Vanilla D2. Either way, it's good to see him again. But yeah, Concord going to be out in August, beta in July. And also the cool thing is, in fact, they're going to be offering pre-orders for Concord the pre-orders itself will be going live pretty soon as well. And they actually say that if you haven't decided, they're going to be having details about the pre-orders which are going to begin next week. And if you pre-order, it'll give you and 4 friends early access to the beta. So if you pre-order, you basically get access for you and 4 friends to check out the beta of Concord, which is very interesting. And in fact, they even went on to say that they're going to be offering free post-launch updates, which are going to introduce playable free gunners, maps, modes, cinematic intros, and more. So there's going to be, at launch, there's going to be 16 free gunners, but there'll be more added over time, which is really nice. They're going to be adding more characters to this mix. So that is Concord, the multiplayer shooter that PlayStation's been hyping up and getting ready to release for the end of the summer this year. On top of that, we finally had the long-awaited PC announcement for God of War Ragnarok, which, of course, the PC release of this game is going to be coming on the 19th of September. So yes, finally PC are going to be receiving this game, and also along with it, you also get access to the Valhalla DLC that they released with all additions, including some outfits for Cairo and characters if you happen to pre-purchase the game to get some of these in-game rewards. So yes, that is going to be available for God of War And you can pre-purchase right now if you want to get ready for God of War's PC release this September, should you fancy playing God of War on PC. So there you go. As well as that, we finally had another trailer, Until Dawn. Obviously, this game will be coming out at the end of the year in the fall of 2024. We will be getting Until Dawn for PS5 and PC. No actual official date was announced. All we were told is it's going to be coming in fall 2024 from Sony. But the trailer does show more of the horror, the sort of the remastered game with more horror elements to the title's release on PS5. And then we also had a glimpse at Skydance's Behemoth game, which is for PlayStation VR 2, which is basically a first-person action adventure VR title that's coming at the end of the year as well. We have a further glimpse of Papa XL 2, which is going to be a free-to-play action RPG. It's basically a game that's going to be competing with Diablo when it comes out, and it's going to be coming out on early access later this year. So there will be an early access release, and they confirmed it's going to have crash co-op and crossplay, the same as what Diablo 4 offers, pretty much. So yeah, it's going to be here later this year for early access should you decide to check out this game over Diablo later in the year. And then on top of that, we had another glimpse at Monster Hunter Wilds from Capcom. This is coming in 2025. They showed us more of the game, which I'll leave a link in the description if you want to read more about Monster Hunter World, because PlayStation have got an article dedicated to all details about Monster Hunter Wilds in preparation for the game's release next year. And then on top of that, we finally had an official launch date for Silent Hill 2 Remake. It's coming out on the 8th of October. And we also got to see more of the narrative and gameplay aspects of Silent Hill 2 Remake. Gives you more taste of what to expect from the game. And they've even shown more in the Silent Hill 2 Transmatch showcase, which they've shown about 13 minutes of gameplay during their Silent Hill transmission that happened following the PlayStation showcase. And in fact, they've even announced the standard and deluxe edition. So the standard edition, you'll get Mara the Dog Mask as well as Robbie the Rabbit Mask only for PS5. The deluxe edition will come with the digital art book, digital soundtrack, and the Pyramid Head pizza box. Apparently that's a thing. And then there's another deluxe edition that's going to be available, where basically a physical version, which is going to come with a game, art books, soundtrack, Pyramid Head, Mara the Dog Mask, and Robbie the Rabbit Mask, and a 48 hours early access, because there's going to be a 48 early hour access for the game for Silent Hill 2 when it comes out, and I'm sure they're going to be revealing more details about that early access soon, if you're curious about how the early access works. But yeah, the pre-orders are currently going live on PlayStation Store. And in terms of its release date, well, in terms of the early access release has been sort of labeled as, I would imagine, the early access is basically the because it's out on the 8th, it's basically going to be out on the 6th of October for early access if you're looking to play it 48 hours before the standard edition comes out. There you go. Pre-orders are live now for Silent Hill 2 if you want to get you'll get your pre-orders in to be able to play this October. And then we had a glimpse at the Alien Rogue Exclusion, which is another PlayStation VR 2 game coming at the end of the year. You can see more of that soon. And then we have the Marvel's Arrivals that's also had an announcement regarding PlayStation 5 release, because there were a bit of talks about a PS5 version of this game coming, and they finally confirmed they will be having a closed beta test in July for Marvel's Arrivals on the PlayStation 5 if you fancy trying it on PS5. This new Marvel title that just had a tryout on PC recently. Then we have the Dynasty Warriors Origins, which is another Dynasty Warriors game coming in 2025. That was announced as part of this showcase if you're curious to see more of it, which is pretty great that they've announced that game. And then we had a very unusual game called The Ballad of Anchana, which is a free-to-play fantasy action RPG, which is also coming in 2025 from a new studios called Tipwork Studios from Info Games. This is a new studio working on this game that they're going to be rolling out next year. And then we have another unusual game, an open world dress-up adventure game called Infinite Nikki that's going to have a beta test later this year, if you fancy checking that game out. And then finally we had another new game announced called Where Winds Meet. That is basically an open world action RPG set in ancient China that brings a martial arts mysterious to PS5. There you go. That's basically all the announcements that Sony revealed in their sort of 30-minute broadcast state of play. But I'm definitely, in terms of the games that I'm interested in checking out, are obviously Astrobot, Concord, maybe Until Dawn. I might probably check out at some point, and then we'll see about the other games. I mean, they're just the games that I'm kind of more interested in are Astrobot and Concord. Are probably the two that I'm more looking forward to out of all the games that have been shown off, and maybe Until Dawn at some point. But yeah, these are just some of the games that I enjoyed from the announcements that happened yesterday, if you're curious of where I stand with the announcements in particular. But yeah, so there's some of the announcements that came out from PlayStation. And in fact, it's interesting that there was in terms of the reactions to the actual showcase, it turns out that there's the PS5 live streams are no longer speaking to fans who build the brand, which is very interesting. That there's been a lot of sort of backlash about the fact that a lot of PlayStation fans or PC fans are very angry about the fact that it requires a PSN login for Until Dawn, God of War, Ragnarok, specifically for PC, which, a lot of PC players are not particularly happy about that announcement, particularly. And also the fact that PS5 and PC fans are trying to figure out if Concord is free to play, which you can understand why they would react like that, because they hope it's going to be free to play, obviously. But yeah, so that's basically how some of the PC fans are reacting to the some of the stuff Sony revealed yesterday. Now, speaking of a showcase we will be getting, obviously, in the following week, which is Ubisoft. They finally announced the date and time. So Ubisoft Forward, obviously, on Tuesday the 11th, basically Monday the 10th of June, of course. They're going to be broadcasting at the following times, of course, which are 12 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. in the UK, and 3 p.m. Eastern, are all the time slots for Ubisoft. And I'll leave a link if you want to see the rest of the time slots if you're looking to check out the Ubisoft Forward showcase, where they're going to be revealing some more details about Assassin's Creed Shadows, Star Wars Outlaws, maybe some stuff about X-Defiant and other new games that are going to be revealed by Ubisoft. Now, of course, we obviously progress on to discuss about the fact that PlayStation Portal has been a huge hit. PlayStation Portal has done really well since considering it was probably one of the best-selling accessories in the month of April. It's already showing that it's selling very well at its price point. So PlayStation Portal is doing very well. And then on top of that, Sony even invited the public to play an insane, massive PS5 pinball machine. Yeah, this was like a real massive PS5 pinball machine that they were doing in real life, which was crazy. That they were doing this as part of the UFCA Championship Festival last weekend, where you could basically win tickets to the UCL final. They were doing this in public, which is crazy. I'll leave a link if you want to see some of the details on that. And then on top of that, we also had an announcement for Hogwarts Legacy that finally revealed the summer update. Yes, we're finally getting the summer update from Hogwarts Legacy, where they're going to be adding a photo mode. They're adding a reset talent points, a haunted Hogsmeade shop quest, glass that lived through, which is glasses for your character, a new potion called Fletcher, which is a new potion recipe. They're adding a new beast creature mountain that you'll be able to get, a new broom, and some new outfits and clothes that will be going live next Thursday, the 6th of June. And this is the update that they were teasing for Hogwarts Legacy that will be releasing next Thursday if you want to get your hands on this update for Hogwarts Legacy. And this is going to be available. And the Hogsmeade Quest, of course, is going to be available for Xbox and PC players who didn't get a chance to play it because of PlayStation holding the exclusivity for it. And then, of course, speaking of Sony, they actually went on to talk about Marvel's Spider-Man 2 that managed to swing 11 million sales, and they're calling it A great success, which obviously Spider-Man 2 was bound to be a success because it's Spider-Man and holds some weight in the gaming world, so it's bound to be successful. But they also recognize that studios are still focusing on single-player titles, which is good to see. They also mentioned that the PlayStation Plus overall subscriptions is around 35% of the player base has been subscribed to PlayStation Plus or paid additional money for more subscription options, which is nice to see that people are relying on PlayStation Plus obviously to play online with their friends. And then Sony also has plans to also convert PC gamers through the power of PlayStation. That's what they're trying to aim to do, which we'll see how that goes, I suppose. And then, of course, PS5 being the most profitable console generation to date. They've been profiting very, very well. They managed to get over 106 billion for PS5 compared to the 10 billion that they got in the operation income, which is pretty so, compared to the sales that have been skyrocketing for PS5 lately. And also the fact that Sony also warns that non-PS5 owners to use its accessories if you're tapping into PlayStation stuff. Now, on top of that, we also found out in terms of Discord, they're actually they're going to go sort of double down on gaming, interestingly, which is very interesting. Discord is trying to push towards the gaming aspect, where they're going to basically means they're going to sort of redesign the group messaging, voice chats, and voice calls. They're all getting a rework because they want to make it more gaming friendly going forward. And also the fact that Discord support has been added in the recent PS5 updates, so they want to support gaming going forward. And in fact, they say that these changes are expected to arrive later this year that presumes to improve the reliability of voice, video, and streaming technology. They even spoke to its CEO, who says that they're focusing on backing away broadly being a community chat app and sort of push towards helping deepen their friendships around gaming and shared interests, which is really nice that they're sort of pushing to make it more of a gaming scene, sort of make it more friendly to gaming, which is pretty nice. So that's really cool, and sort of help that a bit more, which is nice. So I'm glad to see that Discord are trying to improve the experience a bit more and sort of do a bit of a rework on that front. And then on top of that, we did get obviously another sort of gameplay trailer for a character that's been added to Mortal Kombat 1, which is Homelander, which I'll leave a link if you want to see gameplay of the character being added to the system. Yeah, so that was pretty much all the big announcements that came from all the major announcements coming from Sony, obviously. And then of course today they're doing a special launch discount to celebrate the launch of Hypercharge Unboxed, which is out today, which they're doing a special discount for that. And the discount really is that you get 10% off on the game if you want to check out this action figure related shooter that's making its way. And then on top of that, we found out that Minecraft's getting its next big update for Xbox arriving in June, which is the Trickle Trials update, which will be out on the 13th of June. It's their next Minecraft release, which is going to add Trials Chambers and new mods and a new special block called the Vault, which will be available for both solo and co-op opportunity. Then we also found out that it turns out Marvel Rivals is also locked in for an Xbox release as well. So at some point, they are going to be making the closed beta available, not just for PlayStation 5, but also available for Xbox owners as well. So Xbox owners are also going to get access to Marvel Rivals as well as PlayStation. So Series X and S and PS5 are going to get access to this title with a closed beta in July. So it's going to be all platforms offering the closed beta. So consoles and PC pretty much is what they're saying here. And then on top of that, we did also get further glimpses of upcoming games for Game Pass, which is Still the Wait the Deep, which is out on the 18th of June, as well as Dungeons of Hillborough, which is going to be arriving on the 18th of coming to Game Pass. 2 upcoming games in the next 2 months that will be launching on the system if you're interested, nevertheless. And of course, speaking of games that are free on Xbox this week, and of course, they're doing free trials for Modern Warfare 3 for both multiplayer and zombies. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 and Skull and Bones are all free to play. All free to play over the course of the weekend. Obviously, Skull and Bones is going to be playable until next Thursday. If you want to check out those games on Xbox's free play day titles for this weekend. And on top of that, they also launched the final up for Redfall that now offers the offline mode, which, yes, the offline mode is finally gone live. So you can now play the game without connecting to the internet, which is great. And so you can now continue your progress on an offline session. Pretty nice. But apart from that, really, that is pretty much all the announcements that have been going on. Pretty much as we're not going to be getting any more game reveals now until Summer Game Fest on Sunday, next Friday, Sunday with the Xbox Showcase, and of course Summer Game Fest on Friday next week, and we'll see what other games are going to be coming to Xbox Game Pass and also for PlayStation, which I'm sure we're going to be getting some quite a lot of announcements next week regarding upcoming Game Pass releases and PlayStation Plus and stuff releases that are going to be worth checking out. But anyway, thanks so much, and hopefully you all have a good weekend. See you all next week with some more game reveals that are going to be coming up from Summer Game Pass. So see you.